Okay, here's the work for the quiz that you just took. You have a test coming up, so I want to make sure that you know how to do these problems. Okay, so you had to do numbers 2 through 12 even on the handout that I gave you. Okay, so here we go. Problem number 2. You have the square root of x to the 4th power times y to the 12th power. Okay, so what I'm going to do is break this up and make this the square root of x to the 4th times the square root of y to the 12th. Right, so this means what multiplies itself 2 times to equal x to the 4th power? That will be x squared. Okay, same here. What multiplies itself 2 times to equal y to the 12th power? And that will be y to the 6th. Okay, so your answer for this one is x squared y to the 6th. All right, number 4. Very similar to number 2. You have the square root of 25y to the 4th power. Let's go ahead and break that apart. Make that the square root of 25 times the square root of y to the 4th. Okay, the square root of 25 is 5. Okay, the square root of y to the 4th power is y squared. Okay, and there's your answer for number 4. Okay, moving on. We have number 6. The square root of 9y squared times the same thing, the square root of 9y squared. Okay, so let's see here. What I'm going to do is rewrite this as a rational exponent. That's one way, that's one direction. I could distribute my 2 here, but instead I think I want to go ahead and rewrite this as a rational exponent. So that will be 9y squared in parentheses. Okay, since this is the square root, there's a 2 here that's hidden. Turn that into a fraction, 2 over 2. I'm going to go ahead and show multiplication with the little dot there. And this is the same thing as what we have over here. So that's 9y squared to the 2 over 2 power. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and simplify my 2 over 2 for each one. So that's just 9y squared. This whole thing is to the 1st power. So I'm just going to leave it as 9y squared times 9y squared. Okay, simplifying this, let's multiply the 9's together. 9 times 9 is 81. And then y squared times y squared is y to the 4th power. Okay, that's our final answer for number 6. Number 8, we have x to the 1/3 times y in parentheses to the 3rd power, and then times the square root of x squared y squared. Right, so let's see. I think what I'm going to do is, do my power of product here. So I'm going to distribute this 3 to each exponent. Okay, so first I'm going to deal with this one here. X to the 1/3 power to the 3rd power, you multiply 1/3 times 3, so that equals 1. So that will be x to the 1 power. Okay, this y isn't showing its exponent, but it does have a 1 here. So y to the 1st power to the 3rd power, you multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. So that will be y to the 3rd power. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is take the square root of each one. I can separate them like we did over here in this problem, the square root of x squared times the square root of y squared. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip that step and just take the square root of x squared, which is x. So let's put times between these. So that's the square root of x squared is x. The square root of y squared is y. Okay, so now go ahead and simplify this. Let's go ahead and multiply our x's together. X to the 1st is just the same thing as x. So x times x is x squared. And then y to the 3rd times y. Okay, there's that 1 there that's hidden. you add your exponents. 3 plus 1 is 4, so that's y to the 4th power. Okay, so x squared y to the 4th is our final answer for number 8. Number 10. Okay, so we have the 4th root of x, y to the 8th power. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I could distribute my 8 inside and then take the 4th root of each one, but I think what I'd rather do is go ahead and rewrite this as a rational exponent. So let's go ahead and bring down our x, y, and then this 8 is your numerator and this 4 is your denominator for your exponent. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and simplify, so 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay, now this is a power of a product, which means we're going to go ahead and distribute our 2 to each exponent. So that will become x squared, y squared. Okay, so that's problem number 10. Okay, problem number 12 on your quiz, I worked it out for you. And then I wanted you to justify the steps of how I worked it out. So let me go ahead and work that out the way that I had given you to work out, or for you to justify, excuse me. Go ahead and get this written real quick. Okay, let me double check. X to the 1/4 to the 8th over the cubed root of x to the 3rd power. Okay, so what I did first was worked with my numerator. Okay, so this part here is just given. Okay, so working with my numerator, this is a power of a power, so I multiplied here. Right, so that's x 1/4 times 8 becomes 8/4, which equals 2. Okay, so that is power of a power. Alright, and then this one, what I did was I rewrote this as a rational exponent. So that becomes x to the 3 over 3 power, which is 1. But the justification would be rewrite as a rational exponent. Okay, and then I think there was a step in there where I just simplified this. So x to the 1 power, 3 divided by 3 is 1. You just write the word simplify. Okay, some of this is mental math, so if you're working this out, you don't have to write it step by step by step. You could use mental math. And then the last step that you had to justify, though, was this one. Okay, so we had x to the 2 minus 1. Okay, so what I'm doing here is this is quotient of powers, where you subtract the exponents. So that's what I was looking for. Quotient of powers, or power. Okay, so the first one was power of a power. The second one was rewrite as a rational exponent. And then you had quotient of power. Okay. My final work here, 2 minus 1 is 1. So x to the 1st power is just x. Okay, so that concludes the work for the quiz that you just took today. Okay, good luck in studying, and please come see me during tutorial if you need help.